Good evening. We bring you the latest in the world of sports. I'm Paulo Del Rosario.
We bring you the conversations you want to hear from your favorite icons and athletes. I'm Bea Diaz-Fabros. In tonight's Game Plan, we'll catch up with 7-time PBA champion Coach Yeng Guiao as he preps for the NLEX Road Warriors opening tip in the PBA Governors Cup semis.
Then we'll talk about the players you have to watch in the UAAP Season 84 men's basketball. And Manny Madayag helps us break down the Premier Volleyball League 2022 Open Conference preliminaries. Buckle up, sports fans. Let's get in the game. The PBA Governors Cup semis kicks off tomorrow with the NLEX Road Warriors back in action against Barangay Ginebra in the second match of the doubleheader. Joining us tonight to talk about his team's preparations is the head honcho of the Road Warriors himself, two-time PBA Coach of the Year, the recent birthday boy, Coach Yeng Guiao. Coach, it's great to have you back here on the game.
Good evening, Coach.
Good evening, Pao and Bea, and to all your guests today.
Coach Yeng, let's first talk about that last series against Alaska Aces. Siyempre, it took a bit longer than you may have wanted, but how did you like how your team played, especially with the challenge of having to incorporate yung bago nyong import si Cameron Clark?
Yeah, actually, we're very happy. We know that we had to extend to the do-or-die game, but you know, that's what you get when you get the twice to beat incentive. That's what you really fight for, a chance to make a mistake and then correct your mistake and come back and still be able to get to the semifinals. So we worked hard for that incentive and we had to cash in on it. Of course, we would have wanted to do it just one time, pero nangyari talaga yun, no? And yun nga, we lost a very strong best import awardee in KJ McDaniels. He had to go home to attend to family matters, so we had to integrate si Cam Clark in a week's time, and we're actually very happy with the way he plays. I think he blends well with the team.
Now, speaking of Cameron Clark, you mentioned it already, Coach Yeng. He posted double-double in his first game. In the second game, he posted 24 and 8. Based on his performance and the trainings that you've had, how has he incorporated and adjusted to the system that you're running?
Cam Clark played all of his professional career in Europe. Mm-hmm. And Europe is a systems-based style of basketball. And that's exactly what we want. He's a systems player. He adapted very quickly to our system. He's very structured. Of course, different playing style as with KJ. KJ, you just give him the ball and get out of his way and he can produce points. No? Pero itong si Cam Clark sumusunod talaga sa sistema, and that's the way we like it. Two different type of players, but they can produce the same results. No? So I think we'll miss KJ, of course, but I think Cam Clark can get us to the next level.
Well, that next level means that you'll have to go through Barangay Ginebra, Coach. Itong Barangay Ginebra overcame a twice to beat disadvantage against a team that a lot of people thought were one of the contenders to actually make it to the finals in the TNT Tropang Liga. Coach, how dangerous is this Barangay Ginebra team? Nagulat ka ba na sila yung nakalusot into the semifinals?
Actually, nagulat hindi. But I was really expecting Talk and Text to make it because of the twice to beat advantage. But not really because of for Ginebra, not because they were weak or they will not be able to do it, but because I felt that at some point Ginebra was having problems with their chemistry. Mm-hmm. Personnel, wala silang problema, but they were struggling somewhat with their chemistry. But in the last two games, it looks like Coach Tim Cohn had already solved their chemistry problem. They're really blending well and they're peaking at the right time. So if you're asking how dangerous they are, they're very dangerous. They have the personnel to go all the way. Andyan yung starting five nila, national team eh. Gilas yan eh. When I was with Gilas, si LA was there, si Scotty was there, si Japet was there. Si Christian, Stan Hardinger.
Yeah.
And then idadagdag mo pa si Justin Brownlee. That team can play national teams of other countries eh. So how strong do you need to be to play in the semifinals? Sobrang lakas nung team na to. And of course, we can accept that we're the underdogs, but we'll give them a good fight.
Now, Coach Yeng, I see the respect that you have for Coach Tim Cone and the rest of the Barangay Ginebra team. In your last match against them, you won 115-103, which was KJ McDaniel's last game. So this will be the first time that Cameron Clark will be facing this Barangay Ginebra team. What are your preparations as you approach the first semis game against them?
Well, first we have to be mentally tough and mentally prepare for the crowd. The last game they played, Ginebra played, every time the import of the other team touched the ball, he was being booed by the crowd. So parang na-intimidate yung import nung kabila bagong dating pa naman. That's also something I told Cam Clark. Sabi ko, you expect that every time you touch the ball, the crowd's going to be booing you, and you have to stay tough, mentally focus on the game. Kung pwede lang magbalik sa bubble para walang crowd, baka mas maganda sa amin yun. Pero of course, gusto rin namin may crowd kahit na siguro 10% lang nag-cheer sa amin. So we still like that the crowd's there. Anyway, that's one thing we need to prepare for. Na yung sixth man nila, parating nandyan yan.
Yeah.
The other thing is the physicality of the game. Si Christian, grabing mamisikal yan. Scotty, I think, is playing his best basketball. Scotty Thompson is averaging almost triple-double every game. And LA does not look like or seem like he's 37 or 38 years old. Parang 28, parang 28 years old ang si LA ngayon. Si Japet, again, also is playing probably his best basketball in recent years. And you add to them si Justin Brownlee, I don't know, 5-time, 200 times best import na yata si Justin Brownlee. So, ano pang hahanapin mo? Tapos, andyan pa si, Coach Richard Del Rosario. Backing up si Tim Cone. Grabe yung Ginebra team na yan.
Actually, Coach, first of all, it's not just Ellie who doesn't look like he gets older. Ikaw rin, Coach. Kasi syempre kaka-birthday mo lang. It's like I just met you 10 years ago. Pero, Coach, itong team, we talk a lot about Ginebra, but then let's talk about some of the locals din naman of NLEX, because apart from the fact that you've adjusted now sa laro ni Cam Clark, who's a completely different import to a KJ McDaniels, gaano ka-ready yung mga locals nyo to finally face yung firepower ng Barangay Ginebra?
The do-or-die game against Alaska, I think got us even more ready for this game. Just standing up to the pressure, just being able to prepare. I think we've had some Alaska preparations that we're taking into the game tomorrow na sa tingin namin magwo-work din or uubra din against Ginebra. So that also helped us. Of course, I don't want to mention what they are. Baka nanonood si Richard o kaya si Coach Tim.
He's watching me, not you.
Magandang preparation sa amin yun. Yung do-or-die game namin against Alaska. Also, the other thing is makakalaro na si Tony Semerad. We tried him for a few minutes the last game and worked out fine. So, Tony is going to help us also on the defensive end. So, malaking bagay sa amin. So, let's see tomorrow.
Coach Yeng, we're all excited to see everything come to place tomorrow. Of course, you can catch that over on PBA Rush as well as all of our live stream and TV channels. Coach Yeng, maraming salamat, and we can't wait to hear from you again soon.
Thank you, Pao, Bea. Thank you, everybody.
All right.
Salamat.
So, after the break, We'll break down the must-watch players in the UAAP Season 84 Men's Basketball. Stay tuned. You're watching The Game.
Buckle up, UAAP fans. We are 4 days away from the return of our beloved Collegiate League. The action begins on Saturday, March 26, 10 a.m. at the SM Mall of Asia Arena. We begin with FEU versus UST, then it's NU versus Adamson at 1 p.m. Then we have the Battle of Katipunan happening on opening day at 4 p.m. And lastly, we have UE versus DLSU at 7 p.m. Tonight, we discuss the must-watch players in the UAAP Season 84 Men's Basketball. Joining us is former UP Fighting Maroon, Jello Vito. Jello, welcome to the game. You know, it's just 4 days away till finally we have the UAAP again.
I'm so excited. You know, after 2 long years, balik na ang UAAP, balik na ang collegiate basketball. So I'm really excited to see all the teams this coming season.
Alam mo, normally I'm mad at you for all your hot takes. But I don't think we're going to have any real arguments here.
No.
Not today. He has a bunch of names here, Bay. Let's go through it first.
All right, so let's talk about the must-watch players in the UAAP, starting with the highly touted rookie who will be making his debut season with the UP Fighting Maroons. I'm talking about Carl Tamayo. Jello, what can you say about this young kid?
This guy is phenomenal. He's already proven that with his stint with the Gilas program. Kahit hindi pa nga siya nakakapaglaro ng isang UAAP game, pinatunayan niya na kagad na he's the real deal sa Gilas program, lalo na during his stints with during the FIBA Asia qualifiers. And for me, sobrang taas ng expectations para sa kanya, but I think he can deliver right away.
Well, it looks like he's someone who's already gone through yung pressure na yan. And when you look at UP, kasi maraming star names but then do you feel like Carl Tamayo, siya yung angat dyan? Or do you feel that it will be more of something that you're going to have to really watch them to really appreciate what he does?
I really feel that, syempre, nandiyan yung mga CJ Cancino and Richie Rivero. But I think as the years go by, as the years progress, I mean, it's gonna be Carl Tamayo's team. I'm positive with that. I'm really, really positive
Yan
with
yung
that.
mga hot takes na gusto ko eh.
Oo nga eh.
Oo.
But you know, I mean, he already knows and accustomed to the system of Coach Goldwyn. So I guess in terms of also the adjustment, it would be much easier for him. So very excited to watch Carl Tamayo from UP. But let's go on to the next one. Evan Nelly from the De La Salle Green Archers. What can you say about him transferring from San Beda to De La Salle?
It's gonna be a great fill-in, to fill in the void for Aljun Melesio. I mean, he's already proven he's the true point guard, and for perfect fit siya with Justin Baltazar. I really feel na they would tear it up like parang Stockton to Malone siguro, but we'll see. Very, very very, very interesting yung magiging step ni Evan Nelly sa DLSU.
Yeah, that is a reference close to my heart, Jello. Kaya we're friends today. Walang away today. Evan Nelly, when you have him coming up, he's an MVP runner-up, by the way, to Calvin Oftana back in the juniors level. You look at him filling in the shoes of an Aljun Melesio, who was basically the heartbeat of that LaSalle team for a very long time. Again, new system. Do you feel like Evan Nelly is going to come here and we're going to see him as a guy that we're going to have to watch every single time? Like, will he be the star guy apart from Justin Baltazar?
I mean, for sure, that's a possibility. I mean, we've already seen how he facilitates. When it's needed to score, he will score. When he needs to give up that extra pass, he will do that. So, very interesting. Let's see.
Well, you know, aside from him being a runner-up to the MVP back in his NCAA days, he's also a champion. So he brings that maturity and that experience to the UAAP. But let's go on to the next player, RJ Abarrientos. Finally, from the juniors program of the Baby Tamaraws, he finally gets to have that debut with the FEU Tamaraws. What can you say about this Spitfire guard?
This guy will make an impact right away. Feel go during that first game. I'm calling it, he's gonna start. He's gonna start the game. He's gonna make an impact together with another Spitfire guard and LJ Gonzalez. They will bring the energy. They will bring the firepower right from the get-go. Lalo na sa system ni Coach Olsen Rosella na dribble drive.
Yeah, and of course, RJ Abarrientos, he has a lot of faith already with the FEU program because of the fact that Coach Olsen has not left.
Yeah.
The continuity is there for the FEU program. So let's see whether or not he would shine. Let's now move on to the last one.
Okay, so last but not the least, let's talk about the returning Dave Ildefonso to the blue and white, the Ateneo Blue Eagles. How important will be his role as he enters the defending champions team at Ateneo?
I think that it's a very important role kasi he's gonna fill in the gap of, let's say, a third year away. Sobrang laking bagay no na. I mean, he's already has that UAAP experience.
Yeah.
But the biggest question here is, how would he fit into that Tab Baldwin system? Siyempre, si Coach Tab, he's a system guy, and let's see if he kaya niya na to fill in that role.
You know, there's a lot of players from Ateneo actually who won't be there, or at least we expect to be there, or last time we saw them, they're gone. You mentioned 30. They're also not having a Dwight Ramos. And when you have a guy of his physical profile, talking about Dave, do you feel that that's the type of mold, the type of role that he would have to sort of fill in, or do we expect something different from him? Because we have seen him in the UAP in the past.
I think he will bring something different. But syempre, hindi mo pa rin maiwasan sa kanya na yung mentality niya na he's the top dog. Pwede yun kasi even though he's an Ateneo, laging may one guy na magde-deliver talaga na kailangan nila Coach Tab. I think Dave Ildefonso is the guy.
And do you think that, you know, despite all the changes in the Ateneo lineup, they will still be the team to beat as we enter the UAAP season 84?
Sweet ba?
We'll see. It's a long season. It's a long season.
Oh.
Let's see.
Okay.
Safe answer.
Sobrang safe. I mean, like, oh, come on, Jello. I thought you'd answer me whether or not you think it's going to be a sweep.
But, you know, I guess that really just goes to show, you know, how exciting the UAAP will
You don't
be.
know.
I mean, after 2 years of not having it, who knows what can happen this season in 4 days. So, just so very excited for the UAAP. Thank you so much, Jello.
Thanks, guys.
Really appreciate it.
Now, when we return, Maddie Madayag helps us break down the Premier Volleyball League 2022 Open Conference preliminaries. Stay tuned, you're watching The Game. With just 2 game days left and seed-changing games today, the PVL 2022 Open Conference preliminaries has become more exciting than ever. Tonight, to help us break down the scenarios for the upcoming end of the prelim stage, we have one of our freshest and fiercest volleyball analysts, the Mudzilla herself, Maddie Madayag. Hi Maddie, good evening and welcome to The Game.
Hi Bea, hi Paolo.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening.
I like how we describe you, the freshest analyst here. Kasi, I mean, we're not saying that all our analysts aren't fresh, pero ganun yan eh. Pero, Maddie, before we begin, I think we have to update everyone on what's happening right now because there is a game ongoing between Cherry Tigo and the Army Black Mamba. At the moment, Cherry Tigo is up 2-0 against the Black Mamba. And, Maddie, we have to talk about yung implications nito eh, especially in Pool A. If Cherry wins, could you explain to us what would happen?
Okay, so Cherry needs to win this game in 3 or 4 sets to stay alive in this competition.
Now, to stay alive in that competition, that means they will, kasi sa Pool A lang, that's the only pool that a team will be eliminated. And the loss here immediately eliminates the Army. So, if I'm not, is that right, Maddie? Tama ba?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So when we look at all of that, let's look at the Pool A standings and the Pool A discussions that we have here. As we're seeing the win-loss records for each and every one. You look at the permutations here. Hindi pa yan tapos if I'm not right, if I'm not mistaken, right, Maddie? Sorry. All right. So right now, kasi number 1 and number 2 will have the twice to beat advantage. Maddie, when you look at how Signal and Choco Mucho will have to match up. Syempre, there's going to be a question of seeding later on. Pero gaano ka-importante yung matchup between F2, the final game of F2 and Choco Mucho later on?
Sorry.
How important is the matchup going to be when F2 and Choco Mucho face off in the final day for preliminary?
Okay, so Choco Mucho versus F2 battle this Thursday. This game is a must-win for both teams to secure the second ranking. So in simpler terms, whoever wins between Choco Mucho and F2 will get the twice to beat advantage.
And speaking of twice to beat advantage, Maddie, earlier Signal won versus Choco Mucho in 4 sets. So currently they're number 1, so that makes them get that twice to beat advantage. Let's talk about next up the Pool B. As we take a look at the standings here, we have the Creamline Cool Smashers currently at the top seed. And correct me if I'm wrong, have they already gotten that twice to beat advantage already? Maddie, take us through the scenarios that we're seeing in the standings.
So as you can see, Creamline and Petrogas 2-0 na sila. So they are guaranteed the twice to beat advantage na. So top 2 na sila. Bali, Pure and PLDT on the other hand have to end the prelims with a win to avoid a stronger opponent from Pool A.
All right, so Maddie, we're going to try and explain in just a bit clearer. Kasi if I'm not mistaken, yung signal mo right now is going up and down. Eh. But then, babe, when you look at the whole setup here between Pool A and Pool B, syempre there's going to be a crossover there. Only the fifth team of Pool A will be out. A lot of people are still fighting for that twice to beat advantage, especially in the Pool A, Pool B. Medyo set na yon. Pero Maddie, well, when we look at yung Pool A and you look at the likes of look at the race right now, practically it's a race for the second position. What game is do all the fans need to watch out for? And in your opinion, just how much more exciting will that matchup be considering yung mga implications na may twice to beat na on the line?
So this Thursday, may laban pa yung Signal versus Army. For Army, they have to guarantee they have to win to guarantee rank 4, which will eliminate Cherry Tigo.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm sorry. Army versus Cherry Tigo pala. Sorry. So if Army loses the game today, which they're playing against Cherry Tigo, they have to at least stretch the game to 5 sets and win their next game in 3 or 4 sets against Signal. Pero if Army loses this game in 5 sets and then wins their next game in 5 sets, it will be up to the quotient system na.
Okay, so many scenarios that can happen, no, Maddie. But then let's just take a look at Army and also Cherry Tigo, because basically the games are on the line for them to make it to the quarterfinals or not. Because as Pao mentioned, in Pool A, may malalaglag talaga, may matatanggal na team na hindi makakapunta sa quarterfinals. What do you think Cherry Tigo needs to do, and also Army on the other hand, to be able to secure that quarterfinal slot? Maybe we can start off with Army first.
Siguro, I think Army medyo nagkakapaan pa sila kasi ang daming bago, ang daming nawala. Sila Jovelyn Gonzaga nawala. So I think it's important na they come together as a team and, start yung mangyari para so they won't hindi sila mawawala sa quarters.
Maddie, I'm looking at the entire team rankings right now ng Group A, and honestly, I don't know anyone who predicted na ito yung magiging standings natin. When you look at this, what does it say about yung competition, in your opinion, knowing that, syempre, medyo surprising yung ibang results of the tournament so far?
All I can say is bilog ang bola. Lahat naman ng teams yung naghihirapan yung to get the championship to be where they are now. So it's really good na ang daming nagugulat na ito pala yung kaya ng isang team, or 'di ba? So it's really the league is really exciting. All the teams are there to put up a good fight, and I'm excited for the next tournaments, the next games.
Of course, syempre, for those wondering, after the preliminaries, we go straight to the quarters, and of course, there are twice to beat advantages on the line. And even if there are twice to beat advantages, Maddie, sa palagay mo ba, would you be surprised rather if some matchups will extend to that second game, or do you feel that grabe talaga yung advantage of that twice to beat advantage?
Honestly, I feel like if you really want to win, gagawan niya ng paraan to get that crown. But then again, even if may twice to beat advantage ka, you can't take that for granted. Yeah. Kasi like what I said, maraming teams na gustong manalo.
Grabe, spoken like a true winner eh. Oo, ganun talaga.
Ganun talaga dapat.
Maddie, maraming salamat. We wish you were here next time around para we wouldn't have those problems in terms of connection. But again, thank you very much. We really appreciate you coming over.
Thank you, Maddie. Now, thank you for joining us. I'm Bea Diaz Fabros.
Catch us weeknights here on One News, One Sports, and One Sports Plus. I'm Paolo Del Rosario, and this has been The Game.